It is an early Tuesday morning, and I went to bed last night just thinking about things, and I have had a couple people reach out in direct messages this week. Basically, Elijah created this TikTok that portrayed me as being very much older than him, like graduating college when he was playing youth soccer in the soccer league at age 5. So it looked like quite a massive age gap, and that's not as big as our age gap really is, okay folks? But we are 4 years apart in age. So if you haven't heard our story before, I met Elijah when I had just graduated college and he had just graduated high school. And if you've ever met anybody at those age points, you know what a drastic difference that is. That's a big difference, okay? And it took me a minute to really accept the idea of dating somebody younger than me. Like most girls, I was like, that is a non-negotiable. They must be my age, no more than 6 months younger than me or older. And that wasn't the case with Lije. So we became friends and truthfully hit it off and were incredible friends. I just had to bring some truth to the situation. It wasn't like 15 years or anything like that. Anyway, happy Tuesday morning, guys. That's a fun little side story for y'all. But today, I am very excited to chat to y'all about, drumroll please, can girls ask guys out? Now, I have 2 thoughts on this. We'll keep it short and sweet today. I have a few thoughts. One is that I feel like I need to tell a little bit of mine and Elijah's story to give you preference to my beliefs. I used to think that I would never, ever be the one to even initiate the conversation about liking somebody before they told me that they like me, because holy smokes, put your heart on the line, that's a little scary, okay? And we had been friends for months, and within the first couple weeks of meeting Elijah, like I said, I was certain that I wasn't gonna date him because he was so much younger than me, even though my heart deep down was dying inside to acknowledge the fact that I was interested in him, that I had feelings for him. So in the beginning, in those first few months of meeting each other, I would have our mutual friends come up and ask me like, what about you and Elijah? Like, it's pretty obvious, there's some chemistry, you guys are great friends. And I remember just honestly continually saying, he's simply that, just a great friend. Even though I knew, but I was the only one that knew deep down, where I would not let a single person go, I was interested in Elijah. But the news was being relayed back to him that I was not interested in him, that I had no feelings for him, that it was a hard no, he's just a friend. So basically, Elijah took those relayed messages, which, first of all, advice for any man out there, don't send in between messengers, just go talk to the girl, okay? Like, just get a little confidence. I could say other things, but get a little bit of confidence and go ask her how she feels about you. Go admit and confess your love towards her. I mean, you don't have to do it in a creepy way, but be the one to initiate the conversation. Like, we need men to pursue us. Like, that is just an innate need and desire of a woman's heart. Not so much for men, okay? They need a little bit of a challenge. And, you know, I gave Elijah a bit of that challenge because basically I was lying through my teeth telling everybody no. So he was like, okay, you know, how long do I try for until somebody tells me she's interested? Which didn't happen. So months go by, he's just decided I'm gonna respect her no. And deep down, I'm like, I wish that he would cut to the chase not send messengers and just come ask me how I feel about him. But I look back and I wonder if he had come ask me in those first couple months of knowing him, if I would have told him that I was interested, because I still had this thing I was wrestling out in my heart if I was even okay with dating somebody younger than me. And I didn't really know Elijah. I didn't know if I could trust who he was as a person. Like, I knew his exterior, like, you know people kind of when they're your friends for a couple weeks, but I didn't know, like, can he be serious? Is he mature? Does he really love the Lord? I didn't know those things about him that I really would want to know to be able to even say if I was interested in somebody. So granted, I do think time was in our favor on this one, but men, go out there and initiate the conversation. Anyway, these are my thoughts on why a girl can initiate the conversation with a man. However, I don't think it's the girl's job to pursue the relationship, to pursue dates, to X, Y, and Z. I do think it's okay for a girl to go, hey, I'd love to get to know you. Can I get a cup of coffee? But if he doesn't respond with pursuit, girls, it's just, we need to cut that off. We want a man that is going to be able to sacrifice his own comfortability and his own vulnerability for us, even in those initial moments of your relationship. Those are the first telltale signs if somebody is going to be able to pursue you, to sacrifice for you, to love you. And so in my situation with Elijah, I initiated the conversation. Long story short, many months went by and I was still dying on the inside to tell Elijah that I was actually interested in him. Lots of things had come and gone and I was like, I can't fake this anymore. I don't just see you as a friend. And I want to know if there's more to this relationship. And so I texted him and I said, Elijah, can I chat with you? He was like, yeah. I was like, can we meet at the Sundial at 6:30? So we met at the Sundial at 6:30, and which is like this little walk or this little park in our town. And I remember being so nervous and so scared. But in this conversation, I think something that was really key is I initiated the conversation, but I left the ball in his court. I didn't go, and this is my plan, and now I'm going to ask you out on a date, and we're going to go get coffee. I said, hey, in the beginning of the year, a lot of your friends came up to me and asked me how I felt about you. And immediately, actually, Elijah started to apologize. And he's like, I'm so sorry, I should have come to you. And I was like, oh, good, I got him on the right side. But I was like, actually, no, I'm sorry because I wasn't telling the truth. Deep down, I was interested. And whatever, I went on this ramble. I could not for the life of me go, I like you. It was so hard to get those words out of my mouth. And Elijah was like, I kept saying like, I'm interested in you. I'm very interested. You're very interesting. And I remember Elijah going, so I think what I hear you're saying is you like me. And I was like, yeah, thanks for saying it for me because Lord, I could not do it. And he was like, so I think you're saying you're interested in me and I like you too. Or I think you say you like me and I like you too. And his first words for me were, but I cannot pursue you until the end of the school year. And I was like, we were in ministry school together. And that was in about February. And the end of the school year for us was at the end of April. And so that was a lot of months. We really did sit in the gray. But as a girl, I went, okay, I did my job. The ball is now in your court. I'm not going to now go, okay, it's my job to now pursue you and initiate dates and bring you cookies and flowers. No, now it's your job to initiate that relationship. I'm going to be here. You know how I feel. I've been honest with you, but I'm not going to be the one to initiate. And that's challenging, girls. I have to say, as a girl, that gray space for those couple weeks, I was actually content because I was scared to tell him in the first place, because I was scared of risking our friendship and our friend group dynamic and all of the things. But I was okay with waiting, but that gray space was scary because I had just been so vulnerable. I had just put my heart on the line. I had just told him and unveiled these parts of me that I hadn't let anybody know about for months. And I think it ended up being about 6 weeks until Elijah initiated a further conversation. I went through a lot of moments of, doubting myself, like vulnerability hangover, like could not believe what I had just done, like asking myself, was that even worth it? And having these moments with the Lord where he told me, and this kind of was the key to get me through that season. The Lord told me, Alley, something that is valuable costs something. And I was like, it hit. I was like, when you want to buy something that is valuable, you don't put 2 pennies down. You go, it's so valuable, I'm willing to give you $20. And in this situation, it was like, what is potentially on the other side of this is valuable. Therefore, it's costing me my vulnerability. It's costing me putting my heart on the line. And if it doesn't work out, truthfully, if he doesn't ever pursue me, truthfully, it will be okay. Because there's other options out there. The Lord is so kind, and he knows how to take care of our hearts when they're hurting. All of those things. But that moment of going, okay, that's scary. This is this gray space. But really going, okay, I've put it out on there. I've put it on Elijah now. And in that time, Elijah didn't just immediately, we didn't start hanging out one-on-one. We actually had never hung out one-on-one. We had a lot of group situations going on. And he was somewhat more intentional with me. I do remember him like texting me more and just being more intentional, like about things he knew was going on in my life, things like that. So there was intentionality, and I could see that, but there wasn't this strong pursuit. And so I want to leave this with you. If you are somebody sitting on the other side of this video today, if you're a girl and you have been wanting to tell somebody, tell a man, tell a boy that you are interested in them, that you want to ask them out on a date and get to know them, I would say go for it. Go tell him how you feel, especially if it's been something you've been holding on to for a long time, debating if you should do it. Obviously, ask the Lord. But I would say that's totally okay. Go tell him that you're interested in him. But I would make it very obvious that you're not the one doing the pursuit. If you go out to coffee with him because you ask him out to coffee to express your feelings to him or whatever this dynamic is, I would take note. Is he now going to pursue me? And I would even have that conversation. Like, I'm not going to continue to ask you out. I'm not going to ask you on dates. I just really wanted to have an initial conversation with you, let you know how I was feeling. But I'll let you decide where you're at and if you want to pursue this further. Because girls, it's not our job to pursue. As I know that sounds like old school, but truthfully, it's not our jobs to pursue. It is absolutely the man's job to pursue us. We actually have this innate need and a desire as women. It's something we were born with, to be pursued. And men have an innate need and desire to pursue, to have something that's kind of challenging. Am I going to be able to get it? Am I going to be able to accomplish this? They have that innate need and desire within them. It's a beautiful dynamic that the Lord created. And of course, there's situations and there's scenarios that's not the case, that a girl does need to pursue in return. But I would say those initial pursuits, those initial moments of wooing a girl and pursuing her, that is the man's job. And of course, girls, there's moments that there's a time when you do need to pursue him in return, that he needs to know how you feel about him, that you're willing to risk sacrificing your heart and your vulnerability and putting yourself out on the line and portraying and expressing your love towards him as a boyfriend, as a fiance, as a husband, of course. But those initial moments, that is for the man. The man is meant to pursue us. And so, ladies, I want to leave you with that today. Do not be scared of initiating the conversation. However, watch. Is he able to pursue me? Is he capable? Is he willing to do it? And if he's not willing to do it, I would say that's okay. There's going to be somebody else that is. So I hope you find this video encouraging, and let me know in the comments below what other questions you have in regards to dating, engagement, wedding, young married life, all the things. I would love to know. And I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.